Well, hello guys, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm not doing too bad myself. I know it's been a while, but I decided that, hey, I needed to take some time off and get some things done that I needed to get accomplished, and that's what I've done for the last month and a half. Is did some remodeling in the house, did some remodeling on the back deck. Poured an engine out of an old truck that used to be in my race car, and went through it, got it back ready to go back in the truck, and it's been busy. And then when I was working on the deck, I messed my back up and was laid out about a week and a half with that, and got over that, and I've also been sick for a little while, and I'm over that now. But now I'm going to get some time to get back out here in the shop, because, man, I got a lot to do. I didn't do no video on it, but a friend of mine had loaned one of his 940s out to someone. They took it home. The next day, they were complaining about no output power. So I got it in the shop, checked it out, and what I found was the PA board is bad. And what it looks like, they got the C1969 instead of the MRF 485 drivers in there. So it's funny, they check good on the tester, but this one here on this side has very low gain, and there's no output whatsoever on it. So I just went ahead and pulled one. I try to keep boards for these 940s here for testing, and instead of taking the time to troubleshoot this one and repairing it, I just went ahead and pulled the board off the shelf, put it in, got it tuned up, and got it back up and running, and it's not doing too bad. Hello radio, check check. Hello radio, check check check. Yep, so she's got output. So he's supposed to be on his way to come and get this, and like I said, I didn't do no video on it, just didn't have the time when it came in, but I went ahead and did what I had to get it up and running. And later on I'll go back and I'll troubleshoot this other PA board and get it fixed. One good thing about it, I know the MRF 422s are good. Both of the diodes are checking good, no problems there. Want a 28 volt problem like you see on a lot of these, so it shouldn't be too bad. Like I say, I'm thinking it's in those driver transistors, and I'm supposed to have some here in this shop somewhere. I just got to look for them and find out what I did with them. So here's another piece of equipment. Same friend brought this in. He had picked this up. Somebody has actually was throwing this away, and he got lucky and he was there and got it for nothing. This is a Collins 30S1, and it doesn't look too bad. I done went through it and you know, just checking it over, and man, it's pretty clean. It's not bad at all. Everything's in place down there in the bottom. I don't see no crack resistors like you normally see, and it looks pretty good. So looking here on the inside, it's just a little dirty. It just needs some cleaning. But if you also notice, the tube is out. It uses the 4CX 1000 a 1000A tube, and I actually have both of the tubes brand new sitting over there on the shelf. So I did get it powered up, and the fan is a bit noisy in it. Yeah, and what I expected, that's causing the problem. So just what I expected, that's causing the noise problem. These rubber mounts, or that one's busted. So the fan just sits in there and rattles a little bit, so we're going to have to fix that. Yeah, but the amp looks pretty good. You know, it's got your little scratches and stuff on the top, which is normal. I see there's 3 screws missing out. We'll have to replace them. But we'll get a video on this here and get it back up and going. So as you notice, the 940 is gone. My buddy just left. He came and picked it up. And this is the Dentron CM-1. And you know, was talking about the problem with the Dentron Clipperton. There's no tuned input on the front end. This takes the place of the tuned input. It's 10 through 160. You got RF in and out. Your key line 12 volts, and your exciter key, which I don't use the exciter to key the amplifier anyway. So we'll just use a foot pedal to energize it. So this is something that we'll be putting on the Dentron Clipperton, and in the meantime I went ahead and ordered the new power supply board and the components, so we can go ahead and replace the power supply in that Clipperton. We'll have a video coming out before long on this Icom IC-706. The problem with this radio is that when you turn it on, the display's erratic. It's changing around. You hear some noise in the receiver coming and going, and then you give it a good slap on the top and it goes to working. So yeah, we're gonna have to tear this down and go through this and find out what that loose connection is. So sometime here in the near future you'll see a video on this. And finally, after about 2.5 months, I got all the replacement parts in for the Kenwood TS-530 that we're working on. I've got 2 6146s. This is the power supply capacitors. There's 2 capacitors, some resistors, and some ceramic caps here. There's the screen and driver caps, and then all the caps for the radio itself. So now that we got all these in, we can get back to working on that radio and get it finished up. So before we get to this, another thing that I did was went ahead and upgraded the house heat and air system. The system we had was a electric heat, like 15 kW, and straight air unit split system, and that thing's terrible in the wintertime, nothing but electric heat. So I went ahead and put in a whole complete Nordyne unit, 3.5 ton, uses that R454B refrigerant, and got that in. Anyway, back years ago I pulled this out of the 1986 Mustang drag car that I had. This engine, getting ready to rain, this engine produced about 725 horsepower, a 347 Ford, which is, you know, a stroke 302, run nitrous. And I pulled this out and sold the race car. And my son said, come up one day and said, Dad, what you gonna put that engine in? I said, well, you know, I like to find like a Ford Falcon or a Mustang 2 or something in that line, you know, even a Pinto. But finding stuff like that around here is next to impossible without giving an arm and leg for it, you know, so I won't want to do that. Well, I had this 91 Mazda B2200 sitting here in the yard, and it had a little 4-cylinder 5-speed transmission, and the motor blowed up in it. And actually it didn't really blow up, it just had defective rings. You crank it up, after about a minute it'd go to smoking like a freight train, and then it would clear out. We thought it was valve seals, but nah, that wasn't it. And actually what it is, the piston rings shrink, and when the engine cranks up, it's splashing oil up down the cylinder walls, and it would burn it off until the rings would get hot, and they would expand and seat, and it would quit smoking. Well, I finally you know, just quit driving it, and I drove it back and forth to work, and it looked a lot better than it did. I got the new front, all the front end and stuff, even got a new bumper for it. But my son said, you know, why don't you put that engine in this 91 Mazda? So we made all the motor mounts, and we put it in there, and got it going. And I never could get the DuraSpark box to work on it, so project got put on hold. And then a couple of months ago, I went ahead and bought one of these cheap Chinese distributors, one-wire distributor, that does away with all that DuraSpark box and stuff, and put it on the engine, and she fired right up. I'll post a little video clip of that with it sitting in this truck. So yeah, you can see how that went. The engine runs good, you know, to be what it is. I think we built this engine for a little over $9,000 back then, and it's made several passes down the drag strip, and then we quit messing with it, and finally the drag car just sit here in the yard, and somebody come by and wanted the body, so we pulled the motor out, and it ended up this. Now I pulled the motor back out about a month ago, and wanted to go through it, do a couple of things, and repainted the block, and it's ready to go back in the truck. I'm still looking to see if I can find something, but you know, this ought to be a nice little sweeper when I get it together and get it repainted. It's going to be a tough little truck. But you know, anyway, I haven't been filming stuff like this here. Like I say, I just wanted to get some things done here in the around the yard. It's, you know, getting ready for winter time coming up, and I went and bought a new mower a few weeks ago. Got a Cub Cadet I-1040, which is a tractor 0-turn, and the steering box is about wore out in it, so it's fine for pulling the yard sweeper and the trailer and a little disc handle for the garden in, but for cutting grass it just takes so long. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought me a brand new Magnum MZ series bad boy. So you know, just trying to get stuff done, get things ready, because retirement is coming soon, and by the time I get ready to retire, I'll have all this other stuff done. But you know, I don't know what y'all guys are interested in. I like to start adding stuff like this to the channel, just you know, regular routine stuff that we do around the garage and in the shop, the other garage, and plus I'm getting my RC planes back out, getting ready to start working on them as a winter project. So I don't know, y'all let me know down below what all y'all interested in. If I can just start doing some short videos on some of this other stuff that I do besides just electronic stuff. And I'm gonna start doing more electronics, but I'm gonna start doing shorter videos anyway. That way it doesn't tie up so much time, because I'm gonna tell you, editing, we spend hours just doing editing. We make a quick video and you spend a couple hours editing and getting it uploaded and stuff. But yeah, just leave your comments down below on stuff like that. Also, the 2 little radios giveaway, it's not doing as good as I thought it would do, so I'm just waiting a little bit. Maybe at the end of August we'll go ahead and do the giveaway on that. So if you haven't went over there yet and looked at it, I'll leave the link down in the description box below. Go over there and look at them videos and see if it's something you're interested in. Okay guys, I just want to throw this update out there. Let y'all know I am getting back in the shop now, and the next video y'all see will most likely be on this Icom 706. I need to go ahead and get that fixed and get it back to the owner. Still getting lots of emails about repair work, and as I said before, I'm not taking in the repair work. It's just local friends that I'm doing stuff for right now. Like I say, after I retire, that might be a little different. We'll have more time to be out here in the shop to do stuff. But you know, leave your comments down below and let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye now.